Welcome to the next segment in our video series, the top 10 planning mistakes that will keep you from retiring well and what you can do about them. I'm RJ Kelly. I'm the founder and chief visionary officer of Wealth Legacy Group and the Wealth Legacy family of companies. And this series comes from my over 30 years helping clients as a fee-based independent registered investment advisor, chartered financial consultant, and a retirement income certified professional. At Wealth Legacy Group, we offer more than just retirement planning advice and investment experience. We bring a unique perspective formed over decades of experience as a multidisciplinary investment, financial advisory, insurance, counseling, and legacy planning group. It's great to have you with us. I hope you have a pen and a notepad as you watch this series and what applies to you and your unique situation. Jot it down so you don't forget it, and better yet, send us an email or give us a call and we'll give you the contact information at the end of this video. In the last segment, I talked about the greatest single expense that most of us have, that being our home, and the most important decisions we need to make as it relates to retirement and where we're going to spend our retirement years. It can either be a pitfall or a benefit, but we need to plan ahead. Now, in this session, I want to address an area that many retirees say too late, that they wish they had understood better before retirement, and that's Social Security, or as some are saying now, social insecurity. In 1935, when Social Security was first implemented, there were 40 workers paying in for every worker going into retirement. Retired workers received income for a little more than 2 years on average. Now, today, the average is nearly 33 years for retired workers to receive benefits. It went from being a stopgap system to a retirement pension, something it was never designed for. Today, there are only 2.8 workers paying in for every worker receiving benefits, and that number is expected to drop to just 2.0 by 2030. Obviously, this is not a system that we can expect to be self-sustaining, and in an exhaustive study published by the Social Security system itself, 2034 is projected to be when the system itself is bankrupt. And Medicare is projected to be broke by 2026. That's 3 years earlier than they thought. Medicare already provides health insurance for about 60 million people, most of whom are age 65 or older, and Social Security. So what are the mistakes and misconceptions to address about planning on Social Security? So the first one is this. It's a common myth that once the Social Security trust funds run out of money, that Social Security benefits will cease entirely. That is a myth. That's not the case because the program will still be able to receive revenue from payroll taxes and income taxes on benefits. However, based on current projections, that money just won't be enough to cover the program's costs, in part because as trust fund balances decline, the amount of interest that the investments the trust holds will also fall as a result. Now, last year, for example, the Social Security trustees believed that the program would be able to provide roughly 77% of the benefit payments overall for both the disability and survivor benefits following the depletion of the trust funds. The 2018 report saw some improvements on these lines, and with the overall figure improving to suggest Social Security will be able to pay slightly more, 79% instead of 77%. Now, every little bit helps, but a cut of more than 20% for most retirees today would be devastating, especially given the financial challenges older Americans already face. Now, this is perhaps why over 50% of Americans have applied to receive benefits when they turn age 62. And in most cases, that's the earliest age permitted. However, in doing so, they gave up forever 30% of their income, and the income that is compounded. Now, I'm age 64. By simply waiting 2 more years, I know it's hard to believe. Come on. See, really? You're 64? Yeah, I am. Okay. But by simply waiting 2 more years, my monthly benefit increases by 16%. And if I wait until I turn 70, my benefit is 59% more than if I began receiving it starting today at age 64. Now, after age 70, there's no advantage under the present rules, at least, for waiting longer. But bottom line, even if they end up cutting back the benefits by 20%, it still makes more sense to wait, in my opinion. And not only will I most likely receive a higher benefit by waiting, but so too will my wife should I predecease her. She can take over my benefit amount. And again, remember, there's cost of living adjustments that come into that as well. Now, there are 2 fairly simple ways that Social Security could make changes that would ensure the indefinite financial viability of the program. Number one is raising the rate of payroll taxes that workers and employers have to pay in the Social Security system. That's one solution. And then reducing the benefits that the program pays is an alternative solution, but I think they may want to consider doing both if they've got the guts. Now, if lawmakers wanted to increase payroll taxes in order to solve the Social Security funding system, they'd have to boost the tax that employees pay from the current level of 6.2 to 7.6 roughly. Employers would face a similar sized increase in their share of payroll taxes they pay in the Social Security system. So the total tax of just a little bit over 15% from the employee and employer would be just very slightly higher than the current projection that the trustees, the Social Security trustees, made in 2017. So if we can get them that little extra money, guess what? We can push off the system going bankrupt. Now, what can you do if you're ready to start retirement today, tomorrow? I would advise taking out income from other sources and not starting your Social Security benefits. Yes, it will be taxable when you take money out of your 401k or IRA, but likely you'll be in a lower tax bracket if in fact you have stopped working and you don't have any other sources of income. As well, once you do start taking your Social Security income, you can then reduce the amount of taxable income you're taking out. So that potentially makes a portion of the Social Security income non-taxable. Did you know that? That below a certain amount, it's 0% tax on Social Security income. Now, in the next tier, only 50% of it is taxable, and even in the highest level, so in worst case scenario, only 85% of Social Security is includable in your taxable income. Now, as for Medicare, with 10,000 baby boomers turning age 65 every day for the coming years, think about that, every day, there is a huge impact on our Medicare system. And it's highly advisable that you talk with a Medicare supplement expert who can help you understand the many choices that you have today and will have coming up in the future. I've got two trusted specialists that only deal in this area, to which I'm happy to make referrals if you've got a question. And I'm going to be looking to them as well when I come up here for age 65. So, to sum up, I know this is as boring as cornflakes without the milk on it, but here it is. I do think the Social Security system is going to survive somehow, either through higher payroll taxes, pushing back the age for beginning benefits from 62 to maybe 65 or 66. They might do a more needs-based payment system that reduces benefits by the amount of other income that you might receive from other sources. And it might be that they reduce benefits not yet being paid. So I just don't think they will cut back on benefits already coming out, because to do so for so many people, their only source of income is Social Security benefits, any reduction would hurt those least able to respond to making up the shortfall. Now, hopefully this segment has prompted some questions. I promised you our contact information if you'd like to send us some questions or arrange for your 20-minute free consultation. You can visit us on our website for more information, send an email to the address below, and again, for a more quicker response, you can arrange for your free 20-minute consultation. We'll talk about whatever's on your mind, whatever's keeping you up at night, is regarding your retirement planning or really anything else, which might include your estate planning, your documents, your insurance, your legacy planning, or maybe even your business succession planning. We're a multidisciplinary planning group that can go deep and wide when it comes to these important topics. But the most important thing is don't put it off. Let's start a conversation to talk about what you have in place, what you're concerned about. I'll give you some candid feedback about what I like about what you're doing and where I think there's some room for improvement. You can call us at our 800 number shown for your 20-minute free consultation, but please don't put it off. In the next segment, I'm going to be talking about another major planning mistake. I call it retirement friction, which is ignoring the impact of taxes, inflation, healthcare costs after retirement. $280,000, by the way, is what they are projecting for each of us, for our married couple, and the devastating impact of a long-term care. All of these can leave you upside down financially, even after years of careful planning. I'm RJ Kelly. If you found this helpful, or if you'd like to leave us a comment below, we'd love to hear from you. And if there's someone else that you think might benefit from hearing this, won't you share it with them? That's why we're making these videos available, to help you and them retire on your own terms, living out the life that you've only imagined and wondered if it was possible. And I'm here to tell you it is, as long as you plan in advance for it. So let's get started planning for your ideal tomorrows today. I'm RJ Kelly. Thanks for being with us.